This year marks 25 years since the release of Air's Moon Safari. We're going to have a deep dive today on Indie Miners to talk about why it is a classic album all these years later. The album released 3 singles, All I Need, Sexy Boy and Kelly Watch the Stars, and is referred to as one of the best albums of the 90s for downtempo and electronic music. It has gone on to win many awards around the world, and live it is one of the greatest albums to watch live. BJ, welcome to the show. I'd be interested in your thoughts 25 years down the track. Who thought we'd still be talking about this album?
Yeah, it's amazing, Al. It's amazing. It's 1998, so all the cool kids had that album in 1998. I think I bought it around 1999, Al. But it demonstrates the 90s were probably the last great era of innovation in relation to popular music. And I think it was the first time that I'd listened to an album with electronic instruments, especially when I was, getting into my 20s, and finding that I was actually enjoying what I was listening to. Before that, effectively, it was sort of really commercial and not really much fun to listen to. But I guess when you think about it, why it makes it a classic, it was really able to reimagine certain genres that were probably left dormant a little bit in the 70s. So a lot of what Pink Floyd and what Bowie had done with some of these atmospherics, I think you can actually see a lot of that in the songs that were written for this particular album. And I guess throwing to the mix a much more of sort of a French world view. What you got is something somebody hasn't done particularly before, which I thought was just really made it a fantastic listen. I guess when I first listened to it, it was really Kelly Watch the Stars for me. That was the standout track. But when I then subsequently listened to the album, I was just amazed at how good it was and how different it was compared to some of the music that I was listening to at that time. So putting all of that aside, what did you think, mate, about this in terms of what made it an absolute classic?
Oh, mate, 25 years ago I was 16, you just turned 40. And look, mate, what an absolute classic album this is. They refer to themselves as, the French band, so they made sure that people knew that they were from France, and if only my dear mother would have known that when she had found out that I was into the band Air, she went and for my birthday bought me the best of Air Supply, not knowing that they were 2 fucking completely different bands. So shout out to Mum there. I still don't have that album, Air Supply. And another funny note, mate, I remember you and I used to have a glass of red wine and put this album on, and it was a bit of an album that we'd put on, so if someone came home, it was a code for that we might have a girl in our bedroom or something like that. And I really don't remember hearing it coming home when you were home, mate, so I don't think it was spun too many times when you were alone there, mate. But in terms of what makes this a classic album 25 years down the track, I think it's the fact, the innovation of the sounds that it produced and the beats in particular of Kelly Watch the Stars and the title track. The consistency of this album, mate, is flawless. From the first song, kind of goes on this journey for about 6 minutes, and the bloke playing the bass, it sounds like he's almost playing guitar. It is just absolutely fantastic, and I do suggest to our viewers to watch some of these live clips on YouTube. It's a real journey to watch. What makes it an album that you should listen to in 2023 is the fact that it has influenced so many artists over the last 25 years, and it still remains a cult classic to many 25 years down the track. It was rated by most reviewers in the 4.5 star range. Pitchfork said it was one of the greatest albums of the 1990s. So if you haven't heard of this band or this particular album, please give it a listen. And that is our review of Air's Moon Safari 25 years later.
That wraps up another episode of Indie Miners. Please look to subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, and let us know if there's an album you would like us to look at. So until next time, bye for now, and thank you for watching.